It's been a pleasure to welcome Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed to Lisbon, to our Foreign Ministry, in which it's been possible to touch upon a range of issues that are fundamental for Portugal in its relationship with the United Nations and with the international community as a whole. We face very significant challenges, but we have to rise to those challenges. We had the opportunity to exchange views on the work undertaken under Secretary General António Guterres' leadership with respect to peace, a new agenda for peace. We also spoke about, of course, some of the current challenges to peace and about the prospects for the SDGs, for the Sustainable Development Goals, and for their financing. And of course also the challenges with respect to climate change and financing of climate change. International agenda of the next few months is very intense, and it depends on all of us being able to rise to these challenges, to come together and to respond at the level of the requirements, which is a heavy responsibility that we have to take on board.
Thank you very much. It's a wonderful pleasure to be here with the Foreign Minister here in Portugal, a visit that we hold with very high esteem. Our relationship in the international community, particularly at the United Nations, values the leadership of Portugal, from peacekeeping to the ocean summit that was had here, puts the ocean economy back on the agenda. But in times when there are very serious challenges, it is leadership that appreciates the value of multilateralism, that brings us all together to try to solve the problems that we have today, which are many, from the still grappling with the socioeconomic impact of COVID, to some of the very dire consequences on food security, on energy from the war in Ukraine, to those that we would like to discuss this year, and that will be at the SDG Summit. It brings us all together, finance and the means of implementation uppermost on most people's mind, and we see here the increase in support to countries, developing countries, financially from Portugal, even as you struggle within Europe with the demands on resources, as a commendable intention of multilateralism. Also very happy to be here as Portugal host on industrial property rights, and that for us is really important, because as we see the SDGs and we see bringing the world together, inequalities being reduced, technology and innovation is going to be at the middle of that, and therefore one wants to see that those guardrails for protecting rights and for making a more equal world are addressed. We will continue to have these discussions as we go through a full calendar on finance, on peace, as the Minister has mentioned. The new agenda for peace is critical, without which we cannot develop, we cannot invest sustainably in peace. And we look very much forward to continuing our relationship.
Thank you.